Stay-at-home dad. It's a powerful one-man show, and it blends comedy, a little bit of comedy, with heartbreak, and it opens up on Saturday. Take a listen to this.
You can't be asking random strangers on the street like you're doing. You can't go up to people and say, can I tell you something? And then they say, what? And then you say, can you buy me a Lego train cruise ship for my birthday? You understand? Only friends and family who you know get you birthday presents, and your birthday's not for a year.
Wait, I want my birthday.
Yeah, but you can't ask strangers to buy you stuff. That's called OnlyFans.
Oh, no. I didn't see that line coming. Joining us now with the details on the show, award-winning actress and director Carol Foreman and comedian Brandon Bubba Ogborn. You guys, good morning. Thanks for being here.
Oh, I love that.
I thought,
Oh, yeah, thanks.
I thought it was going a certain direction, and then you said that's for OnlyFans.
Well, that's what parenting's like. You think it's going one way, and then it's going the other, and you're worried somebody's going to call the cops, you know? That's my son, Henry, and Henry's 5 years old. His nickname is Henry Garbage Truck, because he tries to get people to buy him any kind of possible garbage truck that he can afford.
That's adorable.
It is adorable, but then you start to feel like he's taking advantage of people. But he's a character in the show that Carol's directing, as well as my daughter Maggie's a character in it as well.
All right, we're going to talk to you in a sec, but I want to talk to Carol because I want to know from you what made his story so compelling, compelling enough, in fact, to become a one-man show, because essentially he has to carry the whole thing by himself. What was it?
As you can tell from just the brief conversation, Bubba is very capable of carrying on any conversation. You just kind of wind him up, and you just let him roll if you're smart.
Yeah.
But I met Bubba back during the lockdown in front of my in-laws' house, and he was living up the street. He was walking his dog. I guess you could call it a cute meet, except we're not together. We have others. I'm going to get myself into trouble here. But so
tell them everything.
I will not tell them everything. That's for you. That's your job. But getting to know him from that day on, he was, of course, very funny, interesting background. He said he was interested in theater. He said he was a comic. I said, well, I do theater. I have a barn. Let's see what we can do together.
Wow.
And I produced a reading of another show. He gave me his screenplay about Tom Cruise and Katie and Scientology.
A play.
A play.
Yeah, it was a play called The Tomcat Project.
Tomcat.
That ran in Chicago, and it was about Tom Cruise, Katie Holmes, and Scientology, so I gave her a copy of that.
Hilarious. I laughed out loud for about a solid hour, and I said, any chance we can get to work together.
Wow.
And then he called me. He was trying to develop this piece because based on his Instagram stories, he's gotten a lot of followers, and you know, he's kind of honed all this into raising kids. And I said, I think this is a play. I think it's much more than just a stand-up.
And we mentioned in the intro here that it's comedy, but heartbreak. So I'm interested in talking about how it turns, first of all, the heartbreak, what we're talking about, and how do you turn heartbreak into comedy? Because some people might argue, me included, that comedy is involved in all aspects of life, whether it's heartbreak, tragedy, whatever. There's always comedy in there.
I think it's cathartic because I think it's a way of channeling pain and trauma and disappointment, and I think it's a bridge between that kind of heartbreak and hurt to the other side of coming out, of finding some type of growth or some type of self-awareness and relief that you have. And I think a lot of us right now need to laugh a lot. And so I think because Brent, what I appreciate about his comedy and about his particular take on being a parent, he's completely unfiltered. He doesn't romanticize it. He does the work, and he's complaining every step of the way.
Most of the followers I have on Instagram are moms, and they're moms who have teenagers, and they go, you're saying what I feel every single day about my kids, but I'm not allowed to say it. And I'm like, I don't think I'm allowed to say it either. The heartbreak, though, comes from, you know, I grew up a certain way. I grew up in Michigan, and we grew up homeschooled in the 80s and 90s, and it was like the culture war center at that time, and went to church at this apostolic Pentecostal place. And so it's about the parenting that I have now versus the parenting that I grew up in, which is relatable to anybody who grew up in a different time of like, and even the people who don't have kids, to be like, I'm trying to, and it's not that your parents did anything wrong, but you're trying to do it differently than your parents, ideally better than your parents did. And so it's about like, I love my kids. I hate this job. I hate the job of parenting. It's horrible. but I love them, and I'm desperately trying to not kill them every single day and to get through that day. And then it shifts to discussing my dad and how he was, and he was a total character. I mean, he spent 15 years working on a board game about Rush Limbaugh. That was like his project. That was his project of his life. And so that took up a lot of his time when I'm trying to connect to be like, hey, I'm parenting, I need help. And he's kind of like, well, I set the game to Rush. We're going to see what's going to happen, you know. So it's merging those different worlds tangentially with the anecdotes of my kids being hilarious and wonderful and insane. But there's people who've lost parents, there's people who don't have kids, but everybody, the test runs that we did in Long Beach, they all sold out. Wow. The stand-up sets I did in my backyard, those all sold out, and it's just been such positive response from people that there is a lot of sadness to it, but there's people who came because there's a political element to it, but there are people from both sides, from all sides, who have come to the show and left and said, I haven't talked to my dad in years. Wow. And after seeing your show, I reached out to them because politics had come so much between us. I haven't talked to my brother or my sister in 15 years because of, whoever. And after seeing this, I realized time's short. There's depth to people on both sides that maybe you don't get just from what you see on your phone.
Well said. I mean, I think when you said it's cathartic for people, you're getting that reaction from audiences already. You got to see this show. It's a powerful one-man show. Brandon, Bubba. Does everybody call you Bubba, or just some people?
Most people call me Bubba.
Okay. Bubba Ogborn.
I don't look like one, but I used to.
What does a Bubba look like?
Well, they're
don't answer that.
Bubba,
don't answer that.
Ozempic, we're just going to say it.
Stay at Home Dad, Saturday at 7 to 8:30. Vision, a center for spiritual living. It's in Mission Valley. Is this just a one-shot deal?
It's a one night only.
Wow. Well, and then we're going to be up at UCB in Los Angeles.
Upright Citizens Brigade.
Upright Citizens Brigade, August 22nd, 25th, and September 9th.
You guys, pleasure talking to both of you.
Pleasure talking to you.